Welcome to the Bombardier Global 6000 for MSFS Revisited. A few updates have been made to the airplane since my first tutorial, so let's take a look at the changes and see how it flies. Textures have been improved. They're not going to win any awards, but at least now different materials are represented across the flight deck with some nice touches, such as carbon fibre detailing on the overhead panel and flap speeds printed on the bulkhead just below the PFD. Looking at the yokes, we can see they've been changed to a custom model with a stitching texture, and the airplane even has some floor mats as well. It's a huge improvement on the generic grey textures we saw before. Our autopilot is all set for our flight, so let's roll. After takeoff, gear up, flaps retracted and autopilot on. The airplane handles the tight left turn from the runway, only running slightly wide of the magenta line. As it's limited by its physical flight dynamics, it then settles into a gentle climb. We increase the vertical speed to 3,000 feet per minute to make sure we clear the terrain ahead and reach our cruising altitude in plenty of time. The airplane responds with no problem, and it levels off correctly at our top of climb. We've configured a VNAV descent, so when the indicator appears on the PFD, we dial in our bottom of descent altitude and the airplane begins a gentle descent. We follow the advisory information on the MFD, adjust our descent rate accordingly, and descend on path. Our turn on to approach is smooth. A lot of planes with the default autopilot can come unstuck on the transition between en route and approach waypoints. We check our nav frequency has been auto set, switch the nav source to localizer and enable approach mode. So far the airplane is performing as it should. At bottom of descent, the plane levels off and we keep the throttles back to decelerate to our approach speed.
Cleared ILS Yankee runway 01 left approach Lima Hotel Golf.
The Glideslope is acquired with no issue and we manage the throttle to maintain our airspeed during descent. On the PFD, we can see that our velocity vector is nicely aligned with the runway. It's foggy in Sapporo this morning, so we'll let the airplane fly the ILS down to minimums. We disengage the autopilot as low as we can. You can see the ILS has brought us slightly right of centerline. We bring the throttles to idle and flare for landing. Reversers on when we touch down, then disengage and rely on braking for our rollout. That concludes our flight in the updated Global 6000. Although the flight deck textures are still rough around the edges, the developer is continually improving the plane, and the important stuff, how it flies, the exterior model, are in line with any default plane in MSFS so far. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this useful. Please feel free to drop a like and subscribe for more. Take care and I'll see you next time.